Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Artsy Autismmom Chronicles. Today's vlog is a Women's History Month spotlight on Dorothy Dandridge. But before we get into Dorothy's story, here is the intro and I will be back with you right after that. Dorothy Jean Dandridge was born November the 9th, 1922 in Cleveland, Ohio, to entertainer Ruby and Cyril Dandridge. Her father was a cabinet maker and Baptist minister. Her parents separated before her birth. Ruby created a song and dance act for Dorothy and her older sister, Vivian, under the name The Wonder Children. The act was managed by her lover, Geneva Williams. Williams was said to have had a bad temper and to have cruelly disciplined the children. The sisters toured the southern United States almost nonstop for 5 years, rarely attending school, while Ruby worked and performed in Cleveland. During the Great Depression, work virtually dried up for the Dandridges, as it did for many Chitlin Circuit performers. Ruby moved the family to Hollywood, California, where she found steady work on radio and film in small domestic servant parts. After that relocation in 1930, Dorothy attended McKinley Junior High School. The Wonder Children were renamed the Dandridge Sisters in 1934. Dandridge and her sister were teamed up with dance schoolmate Etta Jones. The Dandridge sisters continued strong for several years, and they were booked on several high-profile New York nightclubs, including the Cotton Club and the Apollo Theater. Dandridge first appeared on screen at the age of 13 in a small part in an Our Gaines comedy short, Teacher's Beau, in 1935. As part of the Dandridge sisters, she also appeared in The Big Broadcast of 1936 with Bill Bojangles Robinson, A Day at the Races with the Marx Brothers, and in It Can't Last Forever, both in 1937 with the Jackson Brothers. Although these appearances were relatively minor, Dorothy continued to earn recognition through continuing her nightclub performances nationwide. Dandridge's first credited film role was in Four Shall Die. The race film cast her as a murderer and did little for her film career. Because of her rejection of stereotypical black roles, she had limited options for film roles. She had small roles in Lady from Louisiana with John Wayne and Sundown with Gene Tierney, both in 1941. Also that year, Dandridge appeared as part of the specialty number Chattanooga Choo Choo in the hit 1941 musical Sun Valley's Serenade for 20th Century Fox. The film marked the first time she performed with the Nicholas brothers. Aside from her film appearances, Dandridge appeared in a succession of soundies, film clips that were displayed on jukeboxes, including Paper Doll by the Mills Brothers, Cow Cow Boogie, Jig in the Jungle, and Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter's Rent Party, also called Swing for My Supper, among others. These films were noted not only for showcasing Dandridge as singer and dancer and her acting abilities, but also for featuring a strong emphasis on her physical attributes. Dandridge occasionally appeared in films and on the stage throughout the rest of the 1940s and performed as a band singer in films with Count Basie in The Hit Parade of 1943 and Louis Armstrong, Atlantic City, 1944, and Pillow to Post, 1945. In 1944, Dandridge appeared as a star in Sweet and Hot, a musical held at the Mayan Theater in Los Angeles and produced by Leon Heflin Sr., which played nightly for 11 weeks. In 1941, Dandridge appeared as Melby, Queen of Ashuba in Tarzan's Peril, starring Lex Barker and Virginia Houston. When the Motion Picture Production Code objected to the film's blunt sexuality, Dandridge received considerable attention for wearing what was considered provocatively revealing clothing. The continuing publicity buzz of the star's wardrobe got her featured on the April 1951 cover of Ebony. That same year, she had a supporting role in the Harlem Globetrotters. In May of 1951, Dandridge had a spectacular opening at the Macamba nightclub in West Hollywood, the biggest in its history after assiduous coaching and decisions on style with pianist Phil Moore. This success seemed a new turn to her career, and she appeared in New York and at Café de Paris in London with equal success. In 1953, a talent search was conducted as 20th Century Fox began the process of casting an all-black musical adaptation of Oscar Hammerstein's 1943 Broadway musical Carmen Jones. This production had updated George's Brest opera Carmen to a World War II era African-American setting. In Dandridge's leading role from the previous year, a school teacher in Bright Road, the writer and director Otto Preminger could see no gift to portray the classical femme fatale in Carmen Jones, but his consideration was that she would be suited for the smaller role Cindy Lou. Dandridge, who had dressed down for the screen test of Bright Roads to suit the demure teacher at its center, worked with Max Factor makeup artists to convey the look and character of the earthy Carmen Jones, which she wore to a meeting with Preminger in his office. The effect, combined with some viewing suggested to him for her freer, looser appearance in the soundies material, assured her earning the production's title role. The remainder of the cast was completed with Harry Belafonte, Pearl Bailey, Brock Peters, Diane Carroll, Madame Sue Tae Wan, uncredited, Olga Jones, and Joe Adams. Despite Dandridge's recognition as a singer, the studio wanted an operatic voice, so Dandridge's voice was dubbed by white mezzo-soprano Marilyn Horne. Carmen Jones became a worldwide success, eventually earning over $10 million at the box office and becoming one of the year's highest-earning films. Dandridge was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress, becoming the first African-American nominated for a leading role. In 1957, after a 3-year absence, Dandridge appeared in Island in the Sun opposite an ensemble cast including James Mason, Harry Belafonte, John Fontaine, Joan Collins, and Stephen Boyd. Over the next few years, she appeared in a number of films, but by 1963, Dandridge's popularity had dwindled and she was performing in nightclubs to pay off debts from numerous lawsuits. She filed for bankruptcy and went into seclusion before appearing as a lounge act in 1964 in Las Vegas. In 1965, she attempted to revive her acting career. On the morning of September 8, 1965, Dandridge telephoned her manager, Earl Mills, asking him to reschedule a hospital appointment she had that morning. When he received no response when he arrived at her door at the appointed time, he left. Several hours later, Dandridge was found naked and unresponsive in her apartment by Mills after he finally broke down the apartment door. LA Pathology Institute determined that the cause of death was an accidental overdose of antidepressants. I hope that this Women's History Spotlight on Dorothy Dandridge has been interesting and helpful to you. I'll leave additional information in the description of this video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, follow me on all my other social media, including TikTok, Instagram, and my other YouTube channel, The Purple Diva Den, where I do spoken word. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace and blessings from the West Side. Bye, you guys.